I haven't done a video like this before. I've always wanted to, and I'm probably going to do more of them. But this is going to be like half bullet points and half just rambling word salad, so bear with me. Steven Universe's Townie episodes matter because they help contextualize being a human in this world. We can't just have Jim stuff because Steven isn't just Jim stuff, or rather, the Townie episodes help to highlight the human side of Steven. If we didn't have Townie episodes, Steven as a protagonist throughout the original show would be entirely disconnected from the idea of humanity itself, because all we would see are Jim adventures in space. The struggle between being human and being a Jim is at the core of what makes Steven a compelling character. We have to see how he interacts with both sides of the world, or we don't get to really understand the struggle of being Steven Universe. He has a fight with his dad because his dad has no real idea what it means to be a Jim. And he can't help but see a lot of Steven's life through an entirely human lens. Meanwhile, the Jims see Steven's life from a Jim's point of view, mainly because they're established ignorance of what being a human and what human life is really like. So Steven has to contest with these differing viewpoints without ever really getting a concrete foundation from either side. And the Crystal Gems already have a somewhat basic understanding of life on Earth, we know that, but Steven still had to, on multiple occasions, teach the other Gems to be more human, or how to understand humanity. Steven being kind of an overly developed Gem, thrust into the role too early, getting treated like the diamond or the person that, he wasn't. Being an overdeveloped Gem and an underdeveloped human is essentially like the core thesis of Steven Universe's future. He never really consciously recognized exactly how much danger he was in or what it did to him, because it was almost entirely in the Jim world, different stakes, different point of view. It never registered. He didn't have that kind of normal human knowledge to really understand just how crazy a lot of what he was going through really was. It's an entirely different way of living. As a human-Gem hybrid, he was ultimately forced into seeing a majority of his life through the lens of the Gems as well. Although to any normal human being, like Connie's mom, that whole episode, it sounds absolutely insane. Can you imagine if the kid who lives down the street started venting to you about almost constantly dying, fracturing his bones before he's a teenager, not just being involved in a literal space war, but essentially being the main focal point of it, the catalyst, the person that came before him and who he is, essentially starting and ending the rebellion. And the entire time, right, he's 12 years old. So talking about how he's fractured his bones so many times and he's just used to it and he downplays everything, and it doesn't even seem that crazy to the kid because he's been packing it all down so much throughout his entire life. Then from your perspective as the human doctor, you're going to be wondering if this kid's even human at all. But we as the audience know Steven is both a human and a Gem. He isn't just one of them, and this was Rose's message to him. You won't just be one of either, you'll be more than both. You will just be Steven.
Because you're going to be something extraordinary. You're going to be a human being.
Hey, Rose!
Take care of them, Steven.
I would argue there isn't a single person who shared her vision throughout a majority of Steven Universe's runtime until the end of Future. I don't think even Steven realized it until the very end. The struggle was the human side of him barely being cognizant until it exploded. Steven couldn't recognize this side of himself that he's kind of been hiding from this entire time. It started more as ignorance, developed into hiding, packing down, which is why when all those human emotions and feelings he's been bottling up finally comes out, it presents itself as a monster, because it's something Steven has never actually sat down and addressed. He's never conceptualized his own trauma. So his human side, the trauma inflicted on him, on his mind.
Roll down! Come on, Steven. You can do it. It's okay. The gems are gonna be fine. Dad's gonna be fine too.
It's alien to him because he's never allowed himself a chance to work through it. Maybe the reason it presents itself as a monster when it ultimately explodes is because that's how Steven has mostly come to understand his problems. He's helping other people, he's helping other people's emotions, never his own. He's fighting for himself. He's still fighting a monster, a creature, an existing enemy. His trauma taking the shape of a monster is likely the only way Steven was capable of processing it at the time, because like 90% of his battles have been outward. But Steven isn't a monster, of course. He's a human being. He's a gem. He's not either. He's not both. He's just Steven. I think at the end of it all, the message for the audience that you have to address what's hurt you. If you just ignore it forever, you don't move past it. The message for the narrative is that Steven has to get in touch with his own humanity. Figure out what it means to really be one, to be a human, having missed out on practically every regular life experience that a normal human child would have. The name of the end credit song is literally Being Human. So the entirety of like classic Steven Universe runtime, the Townie episodes are the only glimpse that we got into that. And even then, I think it was still warped by the Jim influence in a way. Obviously, the Frybo episode is not something that a normal child would have to deal with, right? It's just, it's not a normal thing. The Townie episodes that are a little bit normal kind of represent Steven's little inklings into his own humanity. He kind of gets an outside point of view of what life is like for a normal person. And even Connie gets so embroiled in the gyms, becoming a knight, joining the battles, that she is no longer a stable outlook into a human life, because now she is so embroiled with the rebellion as well. Or the end of the series, the credits pull up and the car drives away. Oh, that's him. He's going somewhere else. He's leaving Beach City, staking it out on his own, and hopefully somewhere along the road he'll find a way to just let go and be himself instead of the pressure of being a diamond or a savior or a murderer or a revolutionary or a therapist or anything other than himself. This is his chance to find out who he really is, hopefully to achieve some kind of self-actualization. Ultimately, I think it's the perfect narrative wrap-up for all the lessons the original show tries to teach us, ending with basically, don't forget yourself in the mess of everything else. And it's also probably one of my favorite endings to an animated show. We have yet to see